Well, Andy, it's wonderful to see you back after so long away, and what better place to make the latest comeback than here at Queen's, which of course holds so many happy memories for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously an amazing place to play. I've enjoyed playing here over the years, got many great memories here, and last time I was here, winning the doubles with Federer was amazing. Really enjoyed that week. So yeah, hopefully get the opportunity to compete and play well this week.
So it's been a long time away, as we say. How are you right now physically after what looks like it's been another tough few months, and how long have you been able to sort of train fully, let's say?
I mean, I've been training a lot over the last few months. I mean, there's not been many sort of weeks where I've been off the court. It's just been managing the issue I've been dealing with, and tennis-wise, I've been playing well in practice, but I can't say with any great certainty anymore that physically I'm going to feel great in matches, because that hasn't been the case the last sort of 9-10 months really. So yeah, I hope that I feel good physically on the court, and I'm sure that my tennis will be fine. It has been in practice. I just need my body to hold up.
Yeah, what's the sort of constraints you're under these days? Is it more sort of what you're feeling on court, as you say there, or is it also what you're feeling after, when you're sort of recovery time and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think the recovery is one of the things that's important. I mean, and also managing the amount of time you spend on the court as well, which obviously when you're in your early 20s, it's like you play 3-4 hours one day and wake up the next day and you feel all right, whereas nowadays I don't, and I need to be a little bit smarter about my practices and how I go about that. So yeah, that's something that has taken a bit of getting used to and adjusting to. But if I want to play for longer, then I'm going to have to do that.
So you talk about time on court. So is there an argument that you could have more of a run here in this sort of three-setter at Queen's than Wimbledon, say, for example?
I don't know. I mean, you talk also about recovery. I mean, that's one of the positives about the Grand Slams, is having the opportunity to recover between matches. Whereas here, you potentially play. If you go through to the final, you're playing 5 matches in 6 days. Whereas the most you would play in a 5-day stretch would be 3 at a slam, and having those rest days is helpful. So I don't really know, to be honest.
So 5 titles here at the Queen's Club, going back to 2009. What years bring you the most satisfaction when you look back over them?
Yeah, I got asked that earlier, and like the first memory that jumps in my head, I don't know if it's because the most recent, was the doubles with Feli. Yeah, it just felt like a really special week, and it was my first tournament back after not playing for a long period, and after having the metal hip and didn't know whether I was going to play again, and it was great, and I got to share it with someone that I've been good friends with on the tour, and usually after winning an event, you're with your team and stuff, but like we went out and celebrated together with him and his team, and he'd obviously won the singles as well, and it was the best week I think that he'd had on the tour in terms of results. So yeah, that was pretty cool.
You've had success on all surfaces, of course, but it does feel like as well you've had a particular affinity with grass. Is it something you've always been comfortable on this surface?
Since I started playing as a professional, yeah. I mean, as a junior, I never really played on it much. So the first couple of years I played junior Wimbledon and stuff, I didn't feel amazing on it. But then, yeah, now it's the surface that I adjust to quickest, and the one that I feel most natural on. I think it suits my game the best. Whereas, when I would go from hard courts to clay courts, it would take, a good 4 or 5 weeks of practicing and preparing and some matches before I started to feel comfortable. Whereas with grass, it's very quick. Like within a couple of days I start to feel good on the surface again, and feel natural moving on it. So I don't know why that is, but it's just a surface that works well for me in my game.
We're taking a bit of a detailed look at that sort of difference. So just in sort of very sort of layman's terms, what is the main difference in terms of movements for yourself, and of course the way the ball moves on this surface compared to others?
I mean, some of it's fairly obvious in that the ball comes through a lot lower, so a lot of the players, and me included, like normally when you go from the clay to the grass, lower back and glutes and stuff, feet can feel a bit stiff and sore. you know, playing with heavy topspin is not really that beneficial because it's always kind of right in the strike zone, and you know, usually it's like Rafa's forehand on clay. The reason why it's so difficult is because it gets up above your shoulders out of the strike zone, whereas here you can't really do that. So using the slice and the sort of flatter shots keep the ball low and out of guys' strike zone. So it's just a different way of playing tennis, and yeah, like I said, one that suits my game.
So realistic targets for the week, or is it very much taking one day at a time?
For me, it's all physical stuff. Like, if physically I feel good, that's a big win for me, because I do believe that if I can get a period of time on the court and matches and stuff, that the results will be okay. And yeah, so that's my, you know, my priority for this week is to physically feel as good as I can.